اشرح لي صدري أمري ثاني يفقه قولي. Alright. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Every uh, today our class is starting at 11. Alright, because I had a prior appointment earlier on. So thank you for your patience to wait until 11. All right, so we basically, the first class didn't really start, all right, on reading the text yet, because basically I just introduced, all right, about the reading class, about about what is Islamic metaphysics, and then some brief explanation, all right, on the topic itself, and basically about the book. We have not started reading the text. As I mentioned, all right, this chapter is last of the 3 chapters which are related to the topic of being or existence, all right, and basically the crux of the metaphysics, all right, the topic of the metaphysics. But as I mentioned, it's all right that because I was requested to read this. You see, Prof. Al-Attas wrote this chapter. He always refer, all right, to when he talks about the concept, he referred to the concepts which he elaborated in the earlier chapters. So there are, we can approach text in different ways, all right, but I thought we'll stick to the text itself, all right. So in the sense that, all right, because this is a text-based class, we want to learn the text. In other classes, you study the topic, you study, it is not you at the text itself. And I think I want, because this class, all right, we want to focus on understanding the text itself, all right, getting, engaging with the text itself, because this is an important text, all right, on Islamic metaphysics, contemporary Malay philosopher, metaphysician, and thinker. All right. So the approach I have about it, I give a general, explanation of the topic. All right. Or what the text, and we come across, all right, terminology or terms or concepts which have to be explained. All right, to the earlier chapter. So in that sense, all right, you can say that you also have covered not as comprehensively as this text itself, the degrees of existence itself. All right, and you can own, or later, if we have time, we can go and read those earlier texts. All right, so of course I also own explanation, all right, besides Prof. Al-Attas, because to maintain the flow, all right, and continuity of the, all right. So inshallah, all right, alhamdulillah, we will start. So Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The degrees of existence translated is maratibul wujud, all right, degrees, maratib, singular, and exist. All right, so let's read. The word existence is generally, okay, I hope all of you have with you, all right? So, Brother Hubaib is helping us with managing the text, all right? So the word existence is generally to refer to an universal concept to which no corresponding reality called existence is found in the external world. What is in the external world that are said to exist are things ultimately reducible to individual qualities or essences. All right, I will explain. Just read. All right, um, which the mind perceives as independent in itself, and to which it attributes as their property the conceptual entity called existence. The mind, when perceiving the things of things in themselves as if their being there, is due to their own intrinsic nature, that is, or essences. It is able to abstract what it considers to be the conceptual entity existence from the things and acts upon it, performing mental divisions and delimitations into specific boundaries, apportioning each configuration conceptual entity called existence with the individual things of the external world, such that each and every one of them can be said to exist. This general understanding of the term is a conceptual entity that exists only in. It is a general abstract concept rationally divided into portions corresponding to things is by nature or passive. It is a secondary intelligible. All right. So the first specific istilah or in philosophy and metaphysics that we come across here besides the term existence. All right. Here Prof says, all right, that is generally it's a basic and universal concept. All right. So existence as a basic and universal. What does this mean? All right. Here it means that basic background. All right. Information. You see, existence, big term wujud or existence or being. Sometimes the word being and existence, all right, are used interchangeably. But the Arabic term wujud is the most generally understood or the most universal of concept, because in philosophy, things which are unknown can be known by things which are known. All right. In terms of, all right, it is the most known concept. There's nothing, all right, which is more known than the concept of existence. All right. So when, for example, in philosophy, we define things, all right, we will use something, for example, the concept of man. All right, the concept of man. So we want to know what is the concept of man. All right. So, of course, we define it as rational animal. All right. That is the definition, the philosophical. In philosophy, human being or man, all right, is a rational. All right. So, a quick explanation here. Okay, so here not in as rajul, all right, but as insan. Okay, this is the generic term which before we used to, all right, the word man instead of human being or humans. All right, so man is the species. All right, the species or term that we want to know. All right, or in Arabic it's called noun. So how do we define man? All right, we must, when you have a definition, all right, you must have a genus or gens in Arabic, which is the larger class, all right, of thing you can put the species in. All right, so what is the genus or the larger class of beings that you can fit in concept of animal? I mean, yes, the concept of man or the species man is animal, all right, or hayawan, or animal, it's hayawan meaning a living being, life, living. All right, so genus is the bigger class of things, right? Because you must define something by something which is known. Define something which you do not know with something which is known, all right, or something which is more known. So it's animal, all right, that's the genus, which is animal or living being, hayawan. But within that genus, all right, within that of thing, a genus of animal or hayawan, all right, there are many types of species. Man is one of them, and we want to define man. So, but there are maybe reptiles, mammals, or wild, what do you call, cold-blooded animals, or some other species, birds. That so genus is the general thing. So the thing, all right, that distinguish man as in the class of animal or living being different from, for example, reptiles. So what is the difference? If we investigate, the difference is rash. All right, note. That's why then we come up with the definition of man, insan, hayawan, natik, meaning man or insan as rational animal. So what we go back to just now when I said that what is more known than existence of being? Nothing. Because it's the most universally and generally known of all concepts. All concepts are defined by the term existence. Animal, all right, it exists. Man exists, and all the other all the other species in genus, in the class of genus, they have existence, right? You can't define existence, because everything, when you speak, all right, anything, it must always be based on existence. So how can you define existence? That's what it means by it's the most generally understood and concept. All right, that's what is meant by that. Okay, so usually in Islamic philosophy, all right, they existence, they just describe existence, or they will just say existence is something where you can get knowledge. You start with existence and then you can find out or know about things from the concept of existence. Another statement, all right, about existence is that it is a which effects issue from, or it's something from which it is a source from which effects come out from. That's existence, right? You know something exists because, all right, there are effects that come out from that thing which exists. All right. And here, another thing, in terms of generally known basic universal concept, all right, it is also what is referred to in that it, all right, self-evident means badihi. In the sense, you know, you define existence. You have an intuitive, all right, they say you don't have to be rationalizing or using your reason to know what is existence. There's no definition of existence, but they can describe existence, you can give remarks about existence, and you know intuitive something exists. It is present in front of you. I know, for example, this table exists because it's in front of me, and my laptop on it exists because I'm here present, all right, giving the lecture. And in the traditional Islamic philosophy, they say that a baby have to eat about what is milk, or what when he feels hungry, is he hungry, what does he want, all right. And the baby itself, all right, knows what is existence when milk is given to him, and he knows. You don't have to explain or define. Here, this is milk, it exists, all right. So that is basically, okay, what we mean by existence or be, all right. So here he says, to which no reality called existence is found in the external world. Hey, wait a minute. I thought you say everything exists. So they are, all right, they are in front of us, right? They are in front of us. So how can you say it's not found in the external world? Okay, so here, all right, to refer to the term quiddities or essences, all right, mahia, all right, mahia. So this is the I forgot, all right, because not very systematic here in terms of my wujud comes from the term wajada, all right, wajada, wujud, all right, it means to find, all right, or to know, all right. So basically, wujud is to find. You're finding something, knowing something in the sense that is from, when you talk about finding something, that means it's in the external. That is, it means in the external world. And when you say to know, all right, meaning you know with your mind. So that's why when you talk about, okay, there are always two aspects, all right, in terms of one, ontology, and epistemology. All right, ontology in the sense that it is being there, it is out there, or it exists, all right. Shouldn't say it exists because we are trying to explain It is there, it is present. All right, it gives out effects. All right, so ontology, I know, I'm not sure, what level of knowledge or understanding specific topic. Always, for those who know, you have, sorry about the repetition. All right, but it's for the benefit of those who do not know also. All right, so ontology basically is the study of being. So when you talk about this is a study of being, ontology. All right, and ontology is also a part of metaphysics, a branch of, you can also call it, because you're studying about being. All right, talk about the nature of being or their existence, relations of beings. All right, so so that is wujud. So now we go to the concept of essence. All right, because here that ultimately reducible to the individual qualities or essence, mind, realities, independent in itself, and to which it attributes as their property, the conceptual entity called existence. So he said, all right, what is out there is not wujud in terms of a conceptual entity, meaning something which the mind perceives. All right, but what is really out there are the qualities. All right, and here, all right, the basic, we have to go back to the basic. All right, in Islamic metaphysics or philosophy, all right, this is the first starting point when you want to discuss, all right, about the nature of reality. We have the wujud, the mahiyah. Okay, so because, all right, experience are made up of two components. One component or one aspect of the is wujud, and the other it's mahiyah. Wujud is existence, and mahiyah as quality. Okay, so when you say wujud, because when you experience things, perceive things, you can ask two, hal huwa or hal hiya. In Arabic, there's the feminine and masculine. All right, hal hiya. That means, is it? Does it? Is it means, does it exist? That's one question. All right. The second question is, all right, and that is the quiddity. Is it? Does it exist? It pertains to the existence. Second question, all right, that you can ask about a thing is, what is it? Hal, I mean, what the term mahiyah. You can ask mahua, all right, mahiyah, shajara, right? Since it's mahiyah, but it's also mahua. What is it? Okay, so these are the two things, or the component, all right, when you perceive something, and that is, and they are conceptual. So the conceptual entity, all right, of existence, all right, is when the mind, when perceiving the things of the world, considers the things in themselves as if they being there due to their own nature, that is, their qualities or essences. So the mind perceives those things as essences. What is it? Book. What is it? Calendar. What is it? Table. What is it? Laptop. Perceives those things all as they perceive these things have in their intrinsic nature have existence because they exist. But that existence conceptual. It exists in the mind. All right? Do you know what is existence? No, you in the first place, we couldn't have defined it, right? We couldn't define it. But we know, we just know that it exists because they are present all around us. Right? Mind does is that when they see the things, all right, it perceives these separate things. All right? These are the portions which make up the concept of existence. This concept of existence is a conceptual entity. It is just a mafhum, meaning in the mind. It doesn't exist in the external world. What exists in the external world are those qualities and essences of answer to the question, what is it? All right, be patient. All right, so that this is the concept of existence. There is of existence. All right, there is a reality of existence. Sorry, I saw a question just now. The organizer, all right, said perhaps we should take turns at the end of the class. All right, so we can carry on and the flow is maintained. Okay, so because maybe the questions come from different, all right, aspects of the topic or discussion. So now, okay, see, I get distracted. So okay, so now we talk about this actual entity. It's out there. It's not existence per se. All right, it's not existence per se. What is out there are basically the things that forms. All right, all the things that you experience, the books, and these are called the quiddities, answering the question, what is it? Okay, so but I said we want Prof. Al-Attas to explain, all right, the concepts. We use his explanation, all right, his own explanation. This is the last chapter. We have to go to the chapter on quiddity and essence. All right, go to page 218. 218. Is it 218? 218. Okay. See, okay. There. Okay, here, okay, this paragraph. You're not going to see my hand, right? I don't know, maybe there's a marker which you can use. All right, our notion of a thing. All right, everybody's on that page? Yes, thank you, bye. Our notion of a thing. All right, idea of a thing as it is immediately perceived. All right, in this case, a man, for example, is simply that of a real concrete existence, which is mawjud, having a particular individuality to which a word, for example, is applied to and which word, when mentioned, will bring to mind the object which it denotes. All right. It describes our primary notion of a thing. All right. Here, this is what we are. What the mind, when contemplating the thing, which demands its definition, and in answer to its own inner question about the thing, what is it, proceeds to analyze it, to judge, discriminate, identify, and classify it until it arrives at the definition of the thing that is rational animal. Here, next page. In the case of man, in this concept forming process, all right, 218, Hubay, the top line. In this concept, up, 218, up. In this concept form process, for the in this concept, yes, to abstract the thing's whatness from its existence. All right, when you look at the thing, you can abstract. It's in when you see something, an existing table or an existent table. All right, your mind can abstract. When you ask the question, what is it? You can abstract, all right, the thing's whatness, the mahiyah, the what. For example, here, Prof gives the example of man, all right? From it, you see somebody, all right, a man, for example, all right, your mind can divide two from that thing. Its existence, all right? And the second is, what is it? What is that? All right? So considered as something which is attributed to the thing itself, as if it were a property of the that is super added to it. This whatness is quiddity or mahiyah. All right, this is how Prof explained the term mahiyah or quiddity, the whatness of the thing. You know, the mind, right? The whatness from the existent thing. All right. In this way, a mental division and distinction is made between quiddity and existence. Quiddity being considered as the reality of a thing, whereas existence is that which qualifies it. So, all right, exist is the thing, right? The thing in the sense of what is it. So, then if you look, so what about the other component of existence? It is as though that existence is super added or add to make it an existent thing, existent bottle, existent table. Okay? Do you understand that? As the reality of a thing, whereas existence is that which qualifies it. So this is the mind working. So when you see things, all right, you ask the question to yourself, what is it? And, all right, well, man. Okay, so but that is not something, all right, which is in external reality. external reality, the man. And here, all right, there's no, in the sense of a man, usually when we experience things, all right, we can generally the man, we uh, experience specific man, particular man, by, all right, Arif, Salim, or men of nine, all right? Do you understand? So so this is the conceptual entity. This is what is meant, okay, by the conceptual entity of existence. Okay. Here, then we look at Prof's explanation also, pages 217 to 218. All right, here, pages 217, 218. Okay, do you on the first page itself? All right. Which, okay, here, existence. Okay, here. Existence is a single, general, and abstract concept common to all So when you look, it's a concept. What's real are the quantities out there, right? But when the mind perceives, or the general and in the sense that all the things that you perceive share in that general concept of existence. All right. Here, existence is a single, general, and abstract concept common existences. This single, general, and abstract concept common to all existences become multi due to a rational division portions corresponding to the things in the cause of its being attributed to quantities. So all these things are the quantities, all right, they are considered as portions of existence, which form the general abstract concept of existence in the mind. All right? Corresponding to things in the cause of its being attributed to quantities. Okay? Slowly, you get it. You right? The portions are the quantities. And the mind, all right, abstract the quantities. All right? Mind abstract the quantities to know what the thing is. But what about existence? Because we said that everything in the world has two components, existence and quantity. Is existence and what does it as? Okay? So this is general concept of existence, or the conceptual entity of existence. All right? In the course, the meaning of reality, sense of there being world, something actual to which it corresponds, pertains only either to the existence or the quantity of a thing. So when your mind, what does it perceive actually as a reality? The things, not the existence. The existence are what the mind, all right, abstract all the portions it perceives to be the general concept of existence. So existence is not something which you find This is what is meant. Talk about conceptual existence is it is something which is only in the mind, which is mental, and it is general in the sense that from all the things which exist. But what, according to Prof here, the meaning of the reality of a thing in the sense of something, just the qualities. And for we attribute existence to the things because they exist, because because our mind can only perceive the whatness of the thing. Existence as it exists as something, and that which has corresponding externality. That's what Prof means. All right. Let's read it again. The meaning of reality in the sense of there being in the external something to which it corresponds pertains only either to the existence or the thing, being a secondary intelligible that is a purely conceptual entity to which nothing in the external responds. In this sense, and this sense only, is the mental entity having no corresponding reality in the external world. Then, okay, we continue. So that is what is meant. All right, we continue to the chapter it's on the degrees of existence. Why Prof meant that there's no corresponding reality of, all right, it's only a conceptual entity. All right, what is here, or that which actually exists here, from the perspective, from what our mind can know, are the creed. And here, relating back to the term he says about that the mind, okay, divides, classifies, and all that, that basically is how the mind defines. For example, when we talk about man, all right, how do we define it? We classify it into genus and specific difference. Then we can understand the concept of the species man. So it's the mind which does all this process. All right, here he says perform and into specific boundaries. Where is it? In specific boundaries. Okay, so that is the or the definition forming process which our mind does. Okay, so then where did we okay, to correspond with the individuals of the external world such that each and every one of them can be said to exist. All right, this one is back to the chapter. Just now we referred own explanation of what is quiddity. All right, of course, he explains many aspects. All right, because the and here very basic, as we can see. All right, these terms we use in different contexts, or we want to understand being about the nature of reality itself. Okay. Then existence in this general understanding of the term again is a conceptual entity that exists only in the mind. It is a general abstract concept rationally divided into corresponding to by nature static or passive. All right, remember, what is the nature of this existence as a concept? It's static, passive. It is a secondary intelligible. All right, we hold on to this term secondary intelligible. Why? Because before the class, you know there is another level of or wujud. Okay, but can you bring down but existence? Okay, but what is more important is the general concept of existence. All right, in Islamic metaphysics, remember we say what is Islamic metaphysics? Is knowledge of the it is the science of the ultimate reality, right? Or the science of being, meta being, non and pure being in the world of existence, and the degrees of existence and the manifestation of the degrees. So basically this whole thing is in this chapter. So this turn here of but existence may be understood, may also be understood not only a conceptual entity, which we have explained just now, to which there is no corresponding reality in the external world, to an ontological reality that exists in the external world independent of the mind, and that because of its being existent externally, it creates an effect in the mind which produces the concept of existence, by which the mind qualifies the things it perceives in the external world. All right, so this is another level of, all right, which is at the level of not concept, but no corresponding reality in the external world. But in this, at this level, there is an ontological reality. That means that which exists in the external world, which is independent of the mind. The first one is dependent on the mind, in the sense that our mind is, all right, perceives the whatness of things and how our mind forms definitions of the things that we see to know what they. So that conceptual entity is dependent on the mind, but at this level of existence or being, it is independent of the mind. All right? Because of existence externally, it creates an effect in the mind which produces the concept of existence. But because it is out there, all right, that it exists, all right, so our mind still attributes existence to it, because you know all the things that exist. all right? But it is not at that conceptual level where we were abstracting portions and defining things, by which the things it perceives in the external world. So we refer to this second understanding, all right, Hubay, existence which cannot be conceptualized because it's not a universal, as the reality of existence, to distinguish it from the concept of existence. All right? So, conceptual, universal, right? It's a general, universal concept which we form, all right, from the portions of existence which are the quiddities. But this reality, all right, it is independent of the mind, but the mind knows of its existence, and it's called concept of mind knows of it, all right, which but it cannot be conceptualized. Why? Later, well, I can give you the answer here, because it deals with the act of, all right, and this other, see, this is what is very, this is the crucial knowledge. No, existence at the level of reality, not at the level of concept. This is where, all right, it is pervasive, all right, it over every, but it cannot be known by the mind, can only be experienced. Because what is it? All right, we continue, because it has to do with unfolding itself or revealing itself, all right, at the level of manifestation. But we are clouded, all right, we are clouded by only things. They are the veils. What we know are things, quiddities. But the reality of being, all right, is the absolute being revealing itself. But it has conditions, all right, of how to experience that, because then you will say, well, you Prof say which cannot be conceptualized, but it can be intuited, meaning we can experience it. We can know it by direct knowledge, not by ratiocination or rationalization. So this is why its conceptual counterpart, all right, the existence, it is a conscious, dynamic, and creative entity articulating, all right, meaning you can say articulating or expressing, manifesting it within its possibilities of self-expression in analogical gradations. All right, here analogical gradation is tashkik. All right, wujud is graded. That's why it's called degrees of existence. Graded, all right, analogical tashkik, meaning that the levels, all right, are of different intensity, strength or weakness, or posteriority and priority. All right, so those are the levels, for example, going back from absolute level down to the empirical world, the lowest level. So that's meaning analogical gradation. all right, at different ontological levels, in particular and individual modes that appear as separate things in the visible world as well as the invisible world, the visible world and the visible world. All right. So that is the reality of existence. It's active, dynamic, creative. All right. You will see a whole new world. We will understand a whole new world. All right. When we read this text. This is what you call knowing the nature of ultimate reality or the nature of reality. Okay. So this, we are usually only, all right, concerned, we only know about existence at the conceptual level, conceptual entity. But now there's this level where that is the reality of being. Okay. And here, of course, then it deals with when you say, active. Yes, because it has to do with halkul jadid. Al-halkul jadid, meaning new creation. All right? It never stops creating. Okay? So, things always are this concept of things disappearing, fana, and then appearing, perishing, and then existing. All right, that's, of course, we are jumping the gun here, but at least for you to contextualize paragraph or sentences here. So the true meaning, okay, so in self, it's this being self-expression at different ontological levels, in particular, as particular and individual modes. All right, so at this level, we don't really call, well, basically, they are quiddities. But to be more precise, they are modes of being, forms of being. And these forms of, or modes of being, all right, can exist in the visible world and in the invisible world and take on individual forms. So the true meaning of the word existence, wujud, as an objective reality pertains to this second understanding of it, not the first, not the conceptual entity. And is applicable to God in this sense only. All right? We can't other things. At this level of the reality of being, it is applicable to God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In our exposition of the degrees of existence, in the pages, concentrate on the second sense of the meaning of existence, meaning at the level of the reality of existence, or wujud, Arabic term, not mafhum al-wujud, which is the conceptual level of wujud. All right, concentrate on this. There is of existence as a distant entity whose effects have become manifest. Our reason, experience. All right, continue a bit, maybe scroll up. And all right, here, existence as reality and not as concept is the very essence of the ultimate reality. right? Metaphysics of ultimate reality. This existence as reality, not the conceptual, which is a general abstract concept which our mind abstracts from realities of, all right? It is the essence, the that. This ultimate reality is Allah. Considered in his very essence, he is known himself. See, this is the degrees of existence. That is at the highest level, which is the that or the essence, where he's only known to himself. For considered as he is in himself, unconditionally, without conditions. When you say something is conditioned, means it is limited. Like, for example, all right, is somebody, all right, is considered tall if you consider the height of Asians. There's a condition, right? Can you say she is tall? But condition. Generally tall, maybe, but you always have to have a condition. But at this level of reality of wujud, he's unconditionally transcendent. All right, transcendent. By unconditionally transcendent, we wish to convey the meaning that he is in such degree of utmost isolation. He's alone. Neither conditioned by unrelatedness to anything, bishart la shay, all right, meaning by shart la shay, anything. He's not conditioned. Nor conditioned by being indeterminate in the sense of being unrestricted by unrelatedness to anything, but free to engage in individual things, la bishart shay. All right, that means it's free. He's unconditioned in terms of also being free to engage. I mean, being that he is unrelated to anything. We can only, all right, where we will stop at that last sentence, we can only, we can only say the ultimate reality considered in his very essence is not condition, la bishar. Okay? Because the class, all right, we have to end, all right, because people have their, okay, so I think, Alhamdulillah, we manage, all right, because if I were to just give the background information, we will never go to the text. All right, so even though, it's a bit, what do you call, we have to go here and there, but that's learning, all right? So, we have to put things, we contextualize things, we place things in the correct order. So, so this is what we have covered. All right, we have talked about wujud and mahiyah, we have talked about concept and reality of existence. I think those are the two main terms, concepts that we have discussed. And then also we have already gone to the first level of being, which is total absoluteness or total unconditionality. Total unconditionality, where that is his essence, where he is by himself. He is in himself, by himself, and only he knows himself. All right, because there's no when there's no condition to anything, all right, and therefore this is the level where we mentioned the first time meta being, meaning above being, or when something is above being means it is non-being, right? You cannot attribute even the qualification of being to it. That's why it's total unconditionality. All right, both in terms of what do you call la bishart, all right, bishart la shy and la bishart shy. So he is la bishart, meaning without condition. All right, so wallahu alam. All right, we will continue inshallah. I'm sorry, there was a question just now, but I don't know, maybe because everybody has to leave, right? So maybe we can take the question. Okay, I can't, the person is, or we can take the question the next class. All right, inshallah. So you have to go read. All right, I know it's very difficult. Go to the lab, you know, you have to prod, you know, very slowly. All right, and inshallah, I also give general readings, all right? But what I didn't want to give earlier, because then you will go to the simpler general readings, all right? But here, very closely to the text, all right? So we engage closely, all right, with, in fact, the text of the Prolegomena itself, but we are just mainly doing the 3 chapters, but later we will be talking about implications and all that as well. All right, so assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. You can say your ask individually by yourself. Is there anything you want to say, Hubayb?
No.
No?
You mean
All right.
question for the next class, right?
Because you know, people see because the class supposed to end at 12, right? But because I came late, I had an appointment, so we don't want to extend. All right, so unless, of course, you know, you all can extend, otherwise, you know, I won't take your time. All right.
Oh, you mean if I have question right now, it's okay?
Yeah, you can. I'm available.
Yeah.
You know, and there are 47 more.
Yeah, this first page of the chapter here, Doctor, I'm interested in the term that Prof. Al-Attas used here. He used being there, and there's the Arabic term sama. I mean, if it's an Arabic term, it means that it's a scientific term in Islamic scholarship.
Yeah, you know, being there, this IQ, what does that mean? I'm sorry, I checked in Google. What does IQ stand for? Do you know?
I'm not sure, so.
Yeah, you know, I tried, you know, the best they gave me was, unless somebody in the class knows, you know, it could be a Latin term or what, but the best I came out with is in intelligence quotient, which is IQ, which is not the meaning. All right, in the sense that but I think it is not crucial to our understanding, all right, of what he means if we do not understand the word IQ or thamma, all right, in the sense that the things in themselves, as if their being there is due to their own intrinsic nature. Qualities, right, when you know, perceive the things, or when you see and experience the things, as if in their intrinsic nature, that is part of their intrinsic nature. Existence is part of their nature, meaning the nature within themselves, which is not, right?
Yeah.
Because in things, wujud and mahiyah. All right, you can speak about mahiyah, all right, for example, rational animal, as in man, talking about wujud, whether it exists or not, right?
Yeah.
That's what it means. That's what I understand it to mean, in the sense that when Prof says is perceiving the thing of the themselves as if they're being there, all right, is due to their own intrinsic nature. that is their qualities or essences. You see, this is the basic, all right. Toshiko Izutsu is another famous, he's a Japanese, all right. He has passed away. He's not a Muslim. He's a Buddhist, yes. All right. But he knows about, but he writes and he has a lot of books on physics and philosophy. All right. So here, when he that is the qualities or essences. Okay, so he says that the two here, all right, and Prof. Al-Attas also mentions this in his book here. All right, he says that is the first building block, Islamic ontology, for us to know, all right, to have knowledge of wujud and mahiyah.
Thank you.
Okay, so I hope so here mahiyah, all right, wujud not a component, a mukawim, all right, not a component of mahiyah, because you can about mahiyah, the oneness of things without attributing existence to it, like triangle having three sides. You don't have existence, is not here. That's what I would think it means. It's not in its intrinsic nature. That's why these two concepts are distinct. And here the distinction, all right, is a mental analysis. Later we will talk about it. Ibn Sina talks about natural universal. You can talk about things, all right, the thing as in themselves. Okay, so Hubai,
Yeah.
is there anything else?
Since you talk about universal a bit there, I'm also interested in this. Prof. Al-Attas said that ontological reality of existence is not a universal. Is it related to Aristotle problem of universal, where they discuss whether universal is in particular or is it separate from particular? Can you explain on that? Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah, at one level, you can understand it to mean universal as kulli and particular as in juz'i, right? In the sense that wujud or existence as a universal concept, in the sense that it is generally known, meaning it's a universal concept of existence, all right, at the level of okay, at the high level, or in terms of the generality of things, all right, and in terms of particular, all right, tashahhus here meaning particularization, all right, meaning individuation of particular things. So here when you say, I can give an example, when you talk about universal concept of man, that's a universal concept. And that universal concept of man can be answered by the definition of rational animal. It has nothing to do with a specific man. So that's the universal concept. But when you talk about particular, I am talking about a particular man. This particular man, for example, all right, who is beside me here or in front of me, Hubai, that's particular. And this particular, all right, is, you would say, subsumed under the universal. All right, in that, right, meaning word universal. Here he hasn't spoken about particularization or individuation yet. He will, because, and in fact, he has already intimated it, mentioned it, that this level of being, all right, being manifested, all right, or unfolding at the level of invisible world and invisible and visible world in individual modes, individual. Okay. All right. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. I'm just worried I got the wrong impression from this text. Can I
Oh,
say then that, as Prof. Altas say, that ontological reality of existence is not universal, then I can say that God is not universal, but He is the particular, most particular is particular. Is that correct, Doctor?
well, in the sense that can we say that universal in terms of conceptual? Because here universal, all right, because it refers to a concept, right? A universal concept of man, a particular man, all right? But I wouldn't say God is a universal, because universals have to do with concepts, all right? Here, and what according to what Prof. Al-Attas say, he says that the reality of at the level of reality that applies only to God. The reality, all right, when we want to talk about God or Allah Ta'ala, it is at the level of reality.
It's clear, inshallah. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, all right. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, thank you very much.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Alhamdulillah.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
By the way, finish.